You think I should shut that light off and like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I really did wonder. You got me?
It's a lot of heavy breathing going on.
Is it me?
No, I don't know. I'm just teasing.
I'm just excited. I get to be on a real media coverage.
Got 17 seconds, 15. We are live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Live with the Media Goat. It's Radial week, and we got some big stuff tonight on the show. We got Seth Buff from Shadyside Dragway and the Godfather of Drag Radials, John Sears. We're going to be going live with those guys here in a second. Before we get going, though, just want to spread the word. If y'all know, y'all seen Facebook last night, our buddy Bubba Phillips, local no prep racer, was in a bad accident last night on his motorcycle. He's pretty banged up. They're working on getting him back to healthy. He's got a long road ahead of him. They've set up a GoFundMe for him. It's on my page. I shared it earlier. And George Cunningham, he's got it on his page also. If y'all can give and help out Bubba with everything he's got going on, he's got medical bills stacked up. Everything's about to be crazy. He's got a long road to recovery. So if y'all guys can help out with that, please help out, man. Bubba's always been a big supporter of Spooled Media. And, you know, I'm going to help out as much as I can with it, too. So if you guys can help out with that, it's greatly appreciated. Just go on my page. Like I said, I've got the GoFundMe link there. And, hey, if you can show some love for Bubba and them, man, please help them out if you can. All right, so we're going to move into tonight's program. Like I said, it's Carolina Nitrous Nationals week. This is the stickiest radio prep going down at Shadyside. We've got some great classes coming up. And like I said, we've got tonight, to talk about the event, we've got track manager Seth Buff, the Godfather of Radials himself, RTRA Head Director John Sears. And I've got a little video here, kind of show you the action that you can expect this weekend. Like I said, it's not just nitrous cars. There's a mix of cars that's going to be there this weekend. So we'll hit this intro video up, and then we'll go in with the guys. All right, and look at these
Ooh.
troublemakers I got on here. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
A lot.
I'm just kicking it, ready to hit the road in the morning. So, guys, if you don't know,
We're
What,
getting ready, scraping.
oh gosh, everybody at once.
Sorry.
Oh, you're
Maybe you
good.
need to direct the questions.
I'm not much of a director. I just hold the camera.
My man.
You're the
But
There's like a little delay in here, isn't there?
it could be. We've had some issues with the internet up this way, but I'm hoping everything's worked out. We had some issues last night, so let's see what we got. Everything looks good. It's probably on Seth. You know, he's got that cell phone quality.
Probably.
Well, you know, I'm probably on some crazy dial-up thing with a hotspot because I live in Spotsylvania, Virginia.
Oh, dude, I understand how it is. But everybody, welcome to the show. In the middle, if you don't know him, that is Seth Buff. That is the track director at Shadyside Dragway. And on the far end,
Howdy.
that is the Godfather, Mr. Bring Me All the Texas Roadhouse gift certificates. That's John Sears. So,
What's happening, guys?
but I guess we'll go first
Just
question.
getting ready, man.
Seth, how's everything looking so far?
Everything's good. The weather shaped up nice. That was looking kind of sketchy there at the beginning of the week, but we started scraping yesterday. We got a good base down, so we got test and tune tomorrow. Just excited, man. I think we're going to have some decent weather and some awesome racing.
Oh yeah. It never disappoints. That's the good thing about that. This race is always a killer, and we're actually getting to get it going on the date we set it on.
Right, that's
Maybe
still
for the first time
important.
ever.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. I think, like I said, we all watch the weather. You know, all three of us involved in this, and the weather looks like maybe Friday morning, a few little showers, but that's one good thing we know we're good at. We can dry track. But
We've learned that over the years, man. We've done that.
oh man, it doesn't matter if it's a big scale or 1/10 scale. We'll dry it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But I guess, guys, I mean, we got some great stuff lined up, you know, for this weekend. A great class lineup. I seen RTRA is actually going to be in attendance for the event also.
Yeah, Mel's coming in. I think he's bringing the trailer. So this will be our first RTRA points race. I've got a lot of great feedback from all our bracket racers, so I think it's just going to be a great addition to the Nitrous Nats and a testament to its already great show. I think it's going to be awesome.
100%, man. And John, what type of ishness are we expecting with Limited Street? you know, it's going to have that mine shaft weather.
I really see that our nitrous guys they're gonna show out this weekend. You can't count the Pro Charger and turbo cars out, but it is the Nitrous Nationals, so let's see if we can't get these guys lined up and you know, I really think Limited is going to see a string of 490s, maybe some high 480s this weekend again. Looking at the air. Knowing the killer track surface that Seth and Zach and the rest of the guys provide, it's going to wind up being a barn burner. You can bet on that. And if you're not there, you are going to miss out on probably one of the best track surfaces and mine shaft conditions that Limited Street will see this year.
Yeah, I mean, you look last year, the record fell at Shadyside. I mean, I think there's a good chance it's going to happen again.
Oh, I
Give
agree.
it all we got. You know, I mean, that's something. Yeah. Sorry, I think I've got a little delay here, so I'm missing you guys. But no, I mean, we're going to give it all we got. John's got some nice words for us, and guys I feel like they put me on the spot when they do that, you know. So, but we're definitely going to give it all we got, and guys seem to be happy with that. We've scratched out a little name for making some good racing happen, and Limited Street right now has my heart, so we're going to lay it down for him.
Oh yeah, and we've got a bunch of awesome classes, which we might lose your face for a second, Seth, when I pull this up, but yeah, we can hide his ugliness, John.
Good.
We have 4 awesome heads-up classes this weekend, including the bracket race. Bottle versus Boost, that's another defending the namesake of the event. I mean, you got some nasty 5-inch bore spacer under nitrous cars versus some of the Bass and small block Boost. I mean, I think that's going to be a good one too.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. I've been hit up by a couple of guys, want to know if they fit in the class. If you don't think you fit in the class, just come on out anyway. We'll find a spot for you, whether it be testing behind these classes or what have you. We'll make room for you. It's going to be great. You got, of course, Limited Street, coming off of a 33 car showing at Lights Out 14, which was incredible. I think that was our largest car count ever, with the particular 235 class mixed in with the DXP Street and some of the other things that we've added in there. But you can't count out Nitrous Street either at this one. These guys are basically ultra nitrous cars, and they are coming out without having to bother with boosted cars in the class, and they can show out as well. And I really think that our no time format and chip draw format that we have for Nitrous Street really gives everybody a shot at taking home that cash.
Oh yeah, and this one's gonna be for Seth because we've got the namesake of the Shadyside Outlaws on board this weekend too. This is their first opening shootout style race of the year.
Yeah, so they haven't had any races yet. This will be the first time they hit the track for the 2023 season. It'll also be the first time out with their new rule set, which a lot of the guys got it. They like it. I think they understand it. Some of them are a little iffy about the rule set, but I think overall they've come to adapt to it and see that in the future it's going to help. But I'm curious to see how this new rule set plays out. John Sears is a big part of helping me get that set. And, man, it's going to be an interesting weekend for them, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, great classes across the board. Plus, like I said, the debut of RTRA bracket racing down there. The track is officially sanctioned. I mean, this is the first time it's ever been sanctioned, correct?
That's it. Since 1957.
I mean, that's crazy. It's making big leaps forward. And like I said, we're actually going to have representatives from the IHRA this weekend at the event. So make sure if you see those guys, anybody that's there, tell them thank you, man. This is a big step for Shadyside. And we're going to show them that's the best IHRA track there is.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think we're going to put on a good fight for the IHRA stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, John, I got some questions for you. I'm going to shoot them at you, and let's see. So how did the Carolina Nitrous Nationals start? What was the start of this event?
Well, the original start of the event happened down in the Carolinas years ago at another racetrack, and things just didn't quite work out with them. And Seth and Zach approached me, and they wanted to know if I would be interested in bringing my race to their venue. And having heard of Shadyside and its quality racing surface and everything else like that, it's going to be, a new relationship for us. And I think, Seth, correct me if I'm wrong, we're 7 years into this thing. And, man, we've seen everything from melt your face heat to snow trying to go home on a Sunday. And everything in between, and we're still here, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We had some curveballs thrown at us over the years, and all this worked out. I don't know if you remember, we brought you into Tech at the Outlaw Radial Shootout in June, and
right.
That all kind of transpired from that race, and that was awesome. Getting to meet you there and put this together has just been something awesome. But yeah, man. At the first race I think we ever had, we dumped creek water on the track, and
we did.
Guys freaked out because we were trying to pull the track off.
It worked. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and I think next year was the exact opposite. That Sunday we were fighting like it was like negative 2,800 for us, which is unheard of. I mean, we're typically running a 13 to 1800 positive on air. No negatives. You don't see negatives, and that made for an interesting week. I think that was the first time Tory Brown came down, wasn't it?
I think it was. He was kind of blown away with the whole atmosphere of Shadyside, and you were kind of blown away with how to eat a lobster.
Yeah, man. He done us a favor there.
I just saw Dennis Hampton Jr. chime in with the dew and the fog rolling in that night, where we had to just shift everything to the next day. But again, we always seem to be able to persevere, and that's just because hard-headedness and determination out of the group.
Oh yeah, one thing I can say: there's never been any quit with these guys.
No, we like racing, man. I tell people that. They're like, "Oh, y'all work so hard." I'm like, "No, we're just too stupid to quit sometimes." That's what we like to do.
I think I always remember Tori say, "I can drink a beer on the starting line. I'm moving here."
And he did.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He kept to his word.
He absolutely did.
Hey, as y'all can see, I'm wearing the swag.
He moved down. Too. Yeah, he moved straight down here.
Oh, you talking about swag? I think I got some. What do I got on here? Stick Week.
Man, that looked like a blast. Honestly, I would love to have been on that.
Dude, these drag and drive events have really sort of renewed and kept my passion for racing. The folks that do this, they do this to finish. It's not even a matter of winning; it's a matter of finishing. It's impressive.
I went on my first one last year, and that's what they said. It's not about winning; it's about making it to that last track on the last day. That's all that matters.
100%.
So, well, guys, let's see.
It really goes into that whole man versus machine for those drag and drives.
Hey, there's stick guys on drag and drive. You were there. You're in the right area.
I was there. I was in the right area. Yeah. But no, it's something awesome, man. Me and Dad are 55, making one out of it, even if we just run the dial classes or something, just to do it.
Oh yeah, dude, it looks like a blast, and like me helping with Houston last year and being media and just traveling with it, dude. I had a blast. I'm gonna hit another one up before it's all said and done. So counting, we know what we got going this year. We've got those 4 classes, but what other classes have you ran before with the Nitrous Nationals? And maybe we'll see them make a comeback later on, John?
We've always sort of based our whole philosophy around nitrous small block racing. And we started out with basically stock valve angle, and then another class, cast manifold stuff. For stuff that wasn't stock valve angle. And we always did really well, but people have moved on from that stuff. We tried a couple things over the years. We even brought in JB and the No Clock Small Block crew, which was a great addition to the event that they attended. But we're always trying to flex and move and keep our finger on the pulse of what's going on out there. And that's why you kind of see a shift from some of the nitrous small block only classes into stuff like nitrous street, which is, again, one of my favorites, no time and chip draw stuff. And then you see, stuff like limited street, which is really starting to come into its own. I think the addition of the 255 and 275 SS tire that we allow now really has added a huge bonus for the racers that don't want to put the small tire on. And it brings guys out that might not normally have been part of things now to a class where they can compete.
Oh, yeah, I'm 100% with you there. I love seeing the growth. And, I have a soft spot for that 235 tire. And it's been great seeing those guys added. But, if you think, like I said, we're talking about the past, I think I've only missed one even when it was at Mooresville. I only missed one. I've been to every single one of them, and dude, we've seen some crazy classes over the years.
Yeah, I think the first year
For sure.
we watched a 471 to a 471 final at Mooresville,
Yeah.
which was Sam Vincent and Eric McMillan, I think. And that was quite impressive to see that in the end.
Dude, there were some hitters at that event. I remember you had Eric McMillan, Sam Vincent, Skinny Man, let's see, Justin with the red Camaro. I mean, dude, that was really my first introduction into the small block nitrous stuff, because that's really about the time that I got into the radial scene. And that's the first time I met you, John. And it was like, I came up with a shirt, and dude, it was on from there.
We set the hook early, didn't we?
Oh, dude, and it's stuck. If it ain't did nothing, and what's crazy to think is that was a once a year event then, and now we're doing 2 a year.
Sometimes more is better, right? And giving these guys an opportunity to come to such a great historic place like Shadyside and watch Seth and Zach and the whole Buff family do their thing. It's I don't know. For me, it's just an amazing time, and it harkens back to a more simpler form of drag racing for everyone.
Yeah, I think Zeph and Zach
can
take the court. Sorry, no, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I've got just enough of delay where I can't get in. I'm sorry. Dude, but no, I was going to say, John coming down there was surreal for us. Like, because you read about John Sears as guys who are coming into the radial world, and he'll shrug it off or something. But really, I mean, like, John's done a lot in this industry, and, to work with someone like him and call him a friend is something that we're proud of. I think it's something we needed for our small tire program. I think it's important that we have races like this for these guys at these tracks of our caliber. We're not the biggest. We've put on some great payouts. We've put on some awesome races, and we'll continue to do so. But, to bring the professionalism that John does and the classes that he puts on are just top notch. And I can't agree more. It is a great time. One of the things we get a lot on as people leave the track, they've stopped at the gate and told the people, like, this is our favorite race. We'll be back. No matter what the weather is, no matter what's going on, they always have a great time at that race. So just a testament to it.
Oh, yeah. And it's just growing and growing. That's the crazy thing. I've seen some races go stale and kind of like top off, and now this race all the time just growing and growing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you look at it and again, it goes back to no matter what's transpired weather-wise or class-wise, we've always seemed to persevere through. But we've also tried to be as consistent as we possibly can with our payouts, paying back to racers, giving them a voice in how we pay back and everything else like that. And, those are things that we can't do without, a ton of great sponsors that support what we do at the venue.
Oh, yeah, I was just getting ready to ask, what sponsors do we have on board for this event?
Well, as you know, Ultimate Converter Concepts and Montgomery Ragland, not only are they a limited street sponsor, but they're also the title sponsor for the event. We brought Doug Hook and Motion on board as the Nitrous Street sponsor. And then, of course, Limited Street has a series of sponsors that have, been with us for the past couple of years. SP Tools and Lee Locklear. We've got Michael K. out of Australia with Ice Ignition. Seth, I think he brought the Holden to the track today.
Yes.
They've got it repaired.
I love that car.
Yeah, he came in yesterday.
Right. So we've got people coming from Australia to race at Shadyside. Rick Ball and the guys at RC Comp Wheels, Jose at Force Inductions, Jeff Salvato from Salvato Designs, who always does a great job with TMK supporting the shirts and the designs and things of that nature there, and my constant changes and additions with sponsors. And then, of course, RTRA sponsors that we have with Pro Charger, Nitrous Outlet, and a couple other companies. It really seems to be where people understand we're a grassroots organization at a grassroots racetrack, and they want to support that.
Oh, 100%. And that's what I love. I mean, Seth, he's preached, the grassroots deal. I just had a long talk with Doug with my own race, and that's all our approach is the grassroots racing for the grassroots racers and supporting these guys. So
yeah,
see.
that's definitely the heart and soul of racing, no doubt.
Yeah, we just came out of the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod race. We did Lights Out 14 before that, and we did 6 weeks before that, and we had a little bit of a break, and we were at US Street, prior to that. It's going to be kind of nice to get back to hanging out, with the little guy. And I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion at all.
Oh. I think Safe killed us. Yeah, I got cut off from the guys. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get everything back up. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Oh, as soon as I get those guys logged back in, we'll get it back going. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, we had a little power surge here, and it wiped everything out. So, as soon as those guys log back in, I'll bring it back up. Sorry about that, guys. But, like I said, while we're waiting on them to come back in, Carolina Nitrous Nationals this weekend. It's going to be an awesome time. Like I said, I'm just waiting on them to log back in. We'll get back in the questions and everything. But we got a great race this weekend. Like I said, great classes on board. You can't beat what we have going on at Shadyside right now, especially with these Radial classes, man. It's insane. And the prep, to watch those guys constantly giving 100%, it's awesome to see. See, they're having some issues. I'm going to have to resend them some links. So just give me 1 second. But like I said, guys, it's going to be some great racing this weekend. Oh, I got them back. We are back. Let me get them set back up. I see you, Seth. So just as soon as John hits back in. Yeah, I had a power surge go through here at the house, man. It was crazy. Like the yellow box, everything just went blank.
It's just the energy of Carolina Nitrous Nats, huh?
Yeah. As soon as John comes in, I'll pull the 3 people screen back up. Dude, that was crazy.
You're good. I adjusted my camera so there wasn't that glare. That was killing me. I got a small delay, so I'm having a time jumping in with you and John, but
Hey,
regardless, I know what were we on? We were on the.
Gosh, we were talking about just the race, man. So just play
the racers and the as John said, the small guys. And he didn't mean that derogatory, but it was something.
Give me 1 second, Seth. I'm gonna put everybody back on screen.
Go ahead, dude.
Oh, John, we're gonna blame this one actually on John. He's gonna get blamed. He's the guy this weekend. He's the complaint department. All right, we're back.
He doesn't care.
Sorry about that, guys.
No.
Make sure I got all y'all's audio good. Yeah, y'all's audio's good. So, might be John. I think he might be having some issues.
maybe.
We'll just see if he comes back on. But I got me and you on.
He was in the group with me after it.
He just came back up. I don't know what's not got him in it. Let me.
I'm in it.
Hey, we got John.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you.
There we go.
Us all back together, John.
All right.
All right. Let's see. All right, now we're all back again.
Technical difficulties. There we go.
It happens.
I try. Learning this live stuff has kicked my rear. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I mean, you got to learn it, right?
Hey, you've seen me, Seth, trying to learn all this stuff and the struggles and stuff behind it. So, I've had points where I want to just throw my arms up and say I'm done, and then I just keep going back in for the beating.
That's cool.
Hey, let's see the back of that shirt, Corey.
Oh, let me see if I can turn around, get y'all set. Let's see. Can y'all see it pretty good?
Oh yeah, I see a Trans Am on there.
I think this is. I don't know which. I think this is the last Spring Gray shirt.
I think it is.
Yeah, dude, and it's got those spoiled media pictures on it, so it's even better.
Quality work.
Yeah,
and
it is.
We
the GOAT, if you will.
You can't say that too loud.
Can't say that. No, something I wanted to go back to though. We were talking about how John, you said these smaller guys, and you said you didn't mean it derogatory, but that was something I was literally thinking about today. Was like, how do you explain, like, because these small guys aren't that small, they're just blue collar guys, and they bring a hell of a program, to these shows, and put on a great show. So I mean, how do you explain that, and how do you give them the appreciation they need, but also making it known that this isn't where you just came from, and the World Series of Pro Mod, like, that is a fantastic show with some of the biggest names in racing, but you got guys out here that are going toe to toe week in, week out, that are putting on great shows.
Right, and that's the thing that people need to see and people need to know about, right? They need to know that in their backyard can be some of the best competition on four wheels that they can see for a very, very good price, and they get home after 2 days, a Friday night and a Saturday of watching some killer racing. They've got Sunday to spend time with their families. Our racers have the opportunity to go home on Sundays, and that way they're not completely dead when they get back to their normal job, unless they stick around for Sunday service at Shadyside.
Man, we should have brought that back for this.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a good idea, John.
I mean, that's actually,
hey, I'm 2 for 2 today. Ask Seth.
Yeah, he's killing it. We've got a little plan together to get together on this whole tech thing and encourage people to get chassis certs and whatnot. So John's full of ideas, son.
Well,
I'm full of something.
Tell him to keep those ideas rolling, because we got a lot of tech to do this year. So, and John, did you know we've got an awesome announcer coming this weekend?
I heard something about it. I think it's that Scotty Gore guy again. He does work for a couple of other programs out there, one of them being near and dear to my heart with the PDRA. Scotty's an awesome guy, and I think the fans really responded to his announcing that he did at the last event in the spring for us.
So we're going to have Scotty and Trevor? Ooh. This is going to be the play-by-play team of the year.
Yeah, no, I lined up Trevor a while back, so he can help us out with the bracket racing side and stuff. Scotty's got these heads-up guys down. I think it'll be a great time.
John, have you ever heard this whole, drop 6 and held 5, 6, 7, 4, 2, 1, that bracket racing lingo? I'm not good at it, and I know Seth ain't good at it. Trevor will knock it out.
Yeah, I've heard it. those guys are just as passionate about the kind of racing they do as we are about our heads up and small tire and everything else that goes on. And, if I'm just a drag racing fan in general, I have my little genres that I really like, but, and I always tease the bracket guys because nowhere in the world is a small package a good thing other than in bracket racing.
That's a good point.
Racing.
And I've got the bracket
That's
flyer
good.
actually right here. It's going to go over your face, Seth, but if you want to talk about it some, let those guys know kind of what's going on with the bracket program.
Yeah, man. In addition to the Carolina Nitrous Nats and the Heads Up program, we got you're going to be running Foot Braking Pro as well as 6-0 this weekend. Something we started last year was the $2,500 to win guaranteed purse for Foot Braking Pro, and that happened at the Ronnie Buff Memorial last year. I done that because I wanted to do like a pretty good payout for his race and keep that growing. And I had a ton of cars, and I had one racer in particular, Bruce Bickerton, kind of said like, "Hey man, people are looking for 25 to win." And I said, "Well, I'll try it again." And I did, and I was about it. And I tried it 4 times before I ever got done being nervous about it, man. I kept waiting for it to be like too good to be true that these guys were racing with us that hard. And we've worked on our program for years now, but to see them support out like that was just phenomenal. And it really gave us the shot that we needed to go IHRA and solidify that. 6-0 has been a steady growing class for us. Something big several years ago. 6-0 was always a good thing, but now we've got the 800 to win guaranteed for them, and trying to bring it back around this area.
Yeah, I mean, I just came back. Well, not just came back, but a few weeks ago from the opening race, the foot brake race, and man, those guys showed out, and the support was insane for y'all.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it's going to be a great addition to the Carolina Nitrous Nats. Get a little taste of everything: heads up racing, bracket racing, and we've got some awesome bracket racers around as well as heads up racers. So, no matter what your cup of tea is, I think you're going to be pleased this weekend.
Definitely no shortage of action at all. Downtime should be a minimal. I mean, guys, there is going to be some because of the prep and all, but you should be used to that by now. I mean, we're going to keep action flowing this weekend. And I don't know, maybe Seth will throw a few shirts or something out to y'all while we got a little bit of downtime.
I'm not going to throw them, but I'll get Darren to.
Yeah, we got to make Darren do work. I think everybody this weekend at least needs to try to get one selfie with Darren. If you're a racer, keep him on his toes. We got to make sure Darren's got a little bit of spotlight too.
Do not distract him.
Dude, I just spent last weekend with him and Timmy. Trust me, I know he's easily distracted.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that road right now.
So, inquiring minds always want to know, John, what's on the grill this weekend?
That's a good question. I was down in Florida for so long, I actually left the grill in the shed at Bradenton Motorsports Park, and I was greatly relieved to know that it was still there when I went for World Series of Pro Mod. So it is in the back of the truck. I'm thinking maybe steak and chicken tacos, something along those lines there, something you can grab and go with.
I heard tacos. You got my heart there.
Yeah.
So, just kind of something, individual questions for y'all. We'll go with Seth first. What's one of your most special, favorite Carolina Nitrous National moments?
I can't narrow it down, man. Like I said, this race has not been a friendly one as far as work goes. Limited 235 coming into the game and being on that national series really was something for me. That was important, and seeing the limited 235 class altogether has just been, great. I'd have to, as far as everything goes, that would be it. Just having limited 235 there as a point series, great racing, small tire. I feel like it's what it's supposed to be.
100%. Same question for you, John.
I would have to say when we had, close to 30 nitrous street cars at one of the events,
Yeah.
that really sold me on the class and that it's something that could work well. And the fact that, after first round, we were able to gather up all those guys that went out and give them their own second chance race, which I always think is just an awesome opportunity for those guys, especially with the car count being what it was at that particular event.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Nitrous Street, Red just put it basically. Nitrous Street is your friend. I mean, that should be a class guys are knocking the door to get in that place and race. I mean, there's not many just small block, big block, kind of right there on the same playing field nitrous classes around anymore, and this class needs to stay alive and keep pushing.
Oh, it certainly does. If you look at the combinations, those are what I like to call everyman combos, right? Like your average guy can put together a big block, 540, 565, put a plate or a fogger on it and put it in a Fox chassis and go out there and run and be competitive in that particular class. Um, the chip draw adds that bit of unknown to the whole thing. It also gives the opportunity for the two fastest guys to potentially face each other very early on, giving the other guys an opportunity to race. I mean, we even saw, Jason Gilly won the second chance race, like Dennis said, and and he's also been the recipient of the battery that we got from Excess Power and Brady Basner and those guys. So again, Jason's been a long time supporter of the event. We got the Bakers who have been longtime supporters of the event. I mean, some of these guys have been around since the Mooresville days, and they just rocked it out with us right into Shadyside and didn't wait.
Oh yeah, and something I can say about Nitrous Street, especially from a fan's perspective and a media perspective, dude, it's either candles lit or wheel stands, and dude, it's action. It's
Yeah.
they holler at them, be on the fence, ready to watch, cause it's a great class to watch.
Oh, nitrous cars have all the character. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, turbo cars, anything else that's great, but I think nitrous cars have more character than any other car in the racing industry.
Oh yeah, and we've watched that class grow, and I want to continually see it growing and getting better. I mean, I know we're kind of a little bit of a slump, not as many cars last year, but I think a lot of these guys are going to come back around. I think they're going to see, hey, come back to this racing. It's where it's at. It's, I'm not going to say low budget, but you know, it's within the working man's area that they can race that class.
Oh, 100%.
So, and I don't want to leave out my special moment, but it kind of got mentioned earlier because the whole getting water out of the creek because it was 150-degree track temperature and watering the track. Like, who does that? And it worked. Because we had some killers that weekend. Because that's the weekend we had Radial versus the World there, too. Because Jamie Hancock and Bumblebee raced again that weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular to watch those two go down the track after Seth rolled all that creek water on it.
Oh, there's been some amazing.
I don't think people believed it at all. Like,
as hot as it was, that water was going to evaporate within a second. So, it was.
Yeah, man,
it's crazy to see and think it worked.
It did. I mean, I had a lot of people telling me it's not going to work, and we were like, well, I mean, not nodding is not going to work. So we had to do something, right? We went down there with the infrared gun and hit one of the rocks and was like, all right, whatever the ambient temperature is what the water has to be, right? We're close. And I think the rocks were reading like 20 degrees cooler than air temp. So that's what happened. And the track was, our track had never been that hot. I don't think we've read it that hot since. Like, I think it ended up reading 169, close to 170. Zach could probably remember the specific number, but we have never, ever had a track that hot.
Yeah, dude, it was insane, man. I mean, what was it, like 90-some degrees anyways that day in the shade. So, probably the hottest race I've ever been to at Shadyside.
For sure.
But, I seen a question come up earlier. Dennis had posted. Has there been a racer that's been at every single nitrous race, including the old races, to the Carolina Nitrous Nationals races?
God, it would probably come down to Joe Early or Jason Gilly. Those two names probably have been to the most of all of our events. I'm sure there's more out there that have been to some, but I'm not sure how many carried over from our days at Mooresville into Shadyside. Seth may have a better idea of that.
I'm almost perfect on them. I'm like 90%.
Jason Gilly's one of the most hardcore.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Jason Gilly's ever
that's
gave
a
up
great
on this
group
stuff,
of guys. No, he shouldn't, man. He had some really good runs during True Street.
Look at this, John.
Jared
Johnston,
and like
White right.
Yeah, I had dinner with him at PRI. Good night.
I'd like to see those guys make a comeback. That was always one of my favorite cards right there. Let's see.
Mine too.
Dennis said Gilly has been the most, including the Mooresville days.
I believe it, man. That's a hardcore group right there.
I mean, if I think about it, honestly, I think Pearson's been at a bunch of them too, hasn't he?
He has. But think about right. Think about the height of Gilly's boys. How small they were when they first started racing, and now look at those two kids.
Dude, I joke with Jacob Pearson about that all the time. Because I remember when I first came to Shadyside, that dude was maybe 2-3 foot tall, going to help top end to get parachutes and all that, and now he's racing. But let's see, kind of going into the weekend, guys.
He's doing good too, man.
You got to have a hell of a delay, Seth.
It is like sometimes it seems like it's point on, but other times I'm like, you'll start talking and I'm talking about everything. I've messed up now.
I'll just give the pause and kind of give the point to you.
Wasn't Jacob the Shadyside Nitrous Street champion?
He was. Oh, and that's something to bring up too, John. Me and you talked about it. We're going to be doing a trophy and a coat and a season pass for the 235 champion this year. I've got a couple 235 races. So 235 will have a points championship jacket from Shadyside, trophy, and a season pass to Shadyside for winning the points at Shadyside. So I think we're 3 or 4 in. So whoever has the most points at the end of the season on that will receive that.
Nice.
Oh, I can tell you right now, Eddie Ramirez is dying to have that. Every time I see that guy post, it's about Shadyside.
Oh,
can we move every race to Shadyside? But like I said, going into the weekend, guys, any storyline, Seth, especially with Shadyside Outlaws, like I said, new rule set. Who do you expect to see out there? I know you've had some guys coming in and testing on Sundays. Who have you seen getting ready for this?
And I get lost on that kind of stuff, honestly, because I do focus on the track and making sure things are happening there. So I don't keep up with some of the chatter on the Facebook pages and whatnot. Shadyside Outlaws is really taking up a lot of space and getting ready for that rule set. So I'm kind of interested in that. And once again, 235 is a shoe-in for me. I don't know who I'm expecting in 235. I know Tony Orts is already on the property. I know Eddie's coming. Do y'all have a list of anybody that's confirmed for 235?
Yeah, I know, Michael K from Ice Ignition has the hold in there. Mark Farr's coming. I know when I talked to Brad Shear at Lights Out, he was definitely going You've got Dean Fluhart, who's just making leaps and bounds with that old school Mustang. Bill Kubiak, Eddie Ramirez. I'm sure Jason Mack will make his way up there. And hopefully we'll see Robert Strong and the wheel standing Monte Carlo come out. Matter of fact, he tried to call and butt in while we were on the call here. So hopefully we can see some of some of these guys that are regulars, but then also, and if I left anybody out, I really apologize. It's just it's tough to remember everybody right off the top of my head. But I really think that we should see some new guys come out. Shannon with the Chevy 2 has always been a big supporter coming out of Georgia. He always wants to be updated and always wants to know when we're racing again. And he's just a great guy. And it's good to see him come out and have some fun and some success.
Now Shannon Winchester left his bumper at Shadyside last year. I mean, I
haven't heard from him. I would assume he's coming.
He's pretty local. I mean, he's not that far away.
I see I messed you up so.
It's all right, dude.
I messed you up so bad on this delay, bro. It's killing me.
I'm just gonna give it the 2-second count, and if you ain't talking, I'll start talking.
Yeah. But no, and then you move into Nitrous Street. I don't know who else coming for Nitrous Street. But that was another class, scooping back to it is, I think if you're a nitrous guy and you use exclusively nitrous, you don't want to mess with turbos, I think that's the class you need to be looking at. If you want some sustainability in nitrous, get into Nitrous Street. You probably got a combo that fits it. John's got jets and jet sizes in his mind for your combo. So get out there. Let's find out where you're at. Get in where you fit in, and let's see Nitrous Street get back on the map.
Absolutely. You see, TJ Strange came out with the Ford Ranger with the camper shell on it at Lights Out 14. They finally brought that one back out again, and he is running in true DXP street trim. And for the people that don't know, DXP Street is no longer raced at the Lights Out and No Mercy events. We had a great meeting with the limited 235 guys, and it is now part of what has now become limited street. So if you have a DXP street combo and you don't have a home and a place to race, well, actually you do. And that is in limited street. Come on out, bring it out.
Oh yeah. And I think that's one of the best things to happen, because you took two classes that are running right together with each other and just merged them, and the car count's been insane since you've done that. I mean, last year we saw a good growth in it. I mean, Lights Out, they had a great growth with it. I mean, and you were speaking about Dean. I got to see that picture Caitlin took earlier, man. He about ripped that bumper off down there on that old school Mustang.
Maybe we get him and Shannon in the Chevy 2 to line up as our opening act, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. I bet both of them are wishing for no more of those wheelies. Look at this right here, guys. Look at that.
I'd say so.
Turbo Nationals sound better. That's pretty funny, Adam.
Oh, gosh. Maybe we'll have to do a Turbo Nationals one day.
We can do it.
Yeah, so, hey, I'm game. Let's put the small block boost guys, there's a good following for them. We could do a small block boost Nationals.
Yeah. Oh, a format that
throw them in a big pot.
We've talked
Go
about
ahead.
for years. Well, the format everybody talked about was the whole boost versus no boost, where you're running basically the same classes and dividing the ladders down to the final two, and then you run off the fastest nitrous car and the fastest boost car. So I wonder if something like that couldn't make a appearance at some time.
That sounds good for September. I mean, we'd have to figure out some.
Let's do it.
Hey, I'm game for anything. Let's see.
We'll see if we can find somebody to write the rules for that, because I don't know anybody off the top of my head.
Nobody
This
worth a
weekend,
shit, right?
no, Ed, you're gonna have to roll with them guys this weekend. But I've seen Chopper driving. He can outdrive those guys.
What's Ed's
Ed.
combo, and can we put Ed in Shadyside Outlaws? Does he not fit?
I think he's big. I think they got a 94 on it.
Okay.
Which those
Yeah, he needs to
guys,
jump in over there in that combo class we've got.
yeah, which those guys, man, I know they'll be running on the radials this weekend, and then they got to switch that whole car around for slicks for next weekend. But, well, guys, we're getting towards the end of our race, talking about the race part of the program. We'll go to Seth first. Anything you want to throw in tonight, bud, before we get rolling on?
No, man. Other than just, if you've not before, come check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed in any way, shape, or form. The camaraderie and the racing that goes on at this event is just me. We have such a great.
And all to hell. Oh, gosh. Sorry, guys. The weather's a little stupid. And even though it's nice, for some odd reason, it's being crazy. I'm just going to get it back in and we'll go back. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on.
There we go. There's the media goat.
I don't know where it left off at, but yeah, man, like I said, just if you haven't been, get down there, check out, let us know what you think. If you have been down, you already know what it is. We're going to have a great freaking time this weekend. Hang around a while, chat it up, have some great racing. Let's kick off this year right.
All right, you're all back now. I can see all your.
There we go.
I'm learning, guys. It's been the media goat of technical difficulties the past 2 nights.
You kind of suck.
I do.
Try to suck less.
That's my goal this weekend.
John, mine too.
John, same thing. Got anything you want to add for the weekend? Get these guys pumped up? Anything?
Yeah, man. I want to go out there and it's been a long time coming to see a nitrous car win in limited. Those Pro Charge cars have really done a number on them, and I've tried to keep reining those jokers in, and I really think it's time for a nitrous car to shine and go out there and run a number and hopefully take this thing front to back and win it for all the nitrous guys that are still racing in the class and still trying to be a part of it. The other thing is I just want to thank you, Corey, and you, Seth, and the whole Buff family for creating such a great environment for us to come down and showcase these awesome classes and these awesome racers. So thank you. And all our sponsors, big shout out to them, because without them, we couldn't do this.
Oh, 100%.
For sure, man. Thank you, John. I mean it.
Yeah, 100%, John. Thank you for allowing us to have the ability to do this race at Shadyside. It's a lot of hard work behind the scenes. A lot of people don't see. And, we go crash course for 2 days on this. Hardly no sleep, no nothing. Just putting in the work to make this race happen, man. We all appreciate. I appreciate letting Spool Media come in and do the coverage on it. Plus, we'll have a live coverage of this weekend of it. So I'll have it across Facebook and YouTube for the guys that's far out of town that can't make it.
So are you telling me we have live coverage of the event this weekend?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If the internet's not as bad
Talk it up, buddy.
as it is here.
Yeah, no, let's get it.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
it's something Corey's been putting a lot of work into. It's badass. So you need to go off on that, Corey.
Oh, you know how I am with this stuff. Until it's 100% perfect, I'm gonna be like, guys, we're doing some live. We're gonna have some fun. I'll have some links shared out. They'll take you directly to the page for Friday and Saturday of it live, so you're not just searching for it. Or you can always just subscribe to Spoon Media. It's free to subscribe, free to watch. I mean, that's always been my thing, keeping this free and great for the racers, the fans, and everything. So if I can help deliver this and help the guys grow and do better, that's my goal with this. Y'all Y'all know me. I'm just about making sure the racing keeps growing. Oh,
100%. And those of you that want to stay home for the live feed, just know that you won't be getting one of those famous fried bologna sandwiches coming out of the concession stand if you stay home. I'll be buying David Aiken from the TV show Toy Makers one of those probably sometime Saturday afternoon for lunch.
see, I'm going to have
I
one
look
in
forward
one
to seeing
hand and a
David.
taco in the other.
There you go. There you go.
But guys, man, I appreciate y'all coming on. This
Boys,
is the first time I've ever had two people at the same time on. We're learning.
Hey, that's what it takes, man.
To keep up.
All right. Well, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully, we'll kick the event off, give some good testing tomorrow. And if the weather's clear, I've had a couple send me a text asking if there is any testing on Friday. Are we doing a private beforehand or just?
I was about to say, can we run over a tentative schedule real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Do we have
Go
that
ahead.
out yet?
I'll let y'all take the floor on that.
So it's going to be weather dependent on testing, right?
For sure. Yeah. Friday, I know we talked about doing an early test. And what I'll do is I'll kind of watch the weather tomorrow and touch base with you again. We should be able to make a call on that Thursday night or early Friday morning, whether we're going to be doing early testing. From there, I think we had gates opening at like 3 or 4. Other than that, try to hit the track around 6:30 for Friday night. That'll be first round shakedowns for foot brake and pro. And after that, well, I guess we'll do qualifying for limited. Are we qualifying limited Friday night?
Yes.
Yeah, two qualifying hits.
Okay, so qualifying for limited. And then all other classes will test after that, circling back around. Saturday will be a lot more tight. We're going to start at 11 o'clock with our bracket program, foot brake and pro. Go ahead and get them a shakedown in, bring them back around before we do anything else. I'm hoping to run their shakedown and a elimination pass by 12:30 before we start other classes. That way, because like I said, I'm expecting a lot of cars on that one. So you'll probably be looking at first round qualies for all other classes 1:30, 1 o'clock.
That sounds good.
Oh, Seth, remember what we talked about with the where we got 3 classes in line that have to weigh. We'll have them weigh and then go to the staging lanes after that, so it's not crowding up the pro lane.
Yeah, yep. So a lot of times we run the pro tree lane for the pro tree classes, and we're able to separate them where that doesn't become much of an issue. This time we're going to have to weigh you, and you'll have to go get in your lanes in the main staging lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't have the run order in front of me, so I can't remember what we decided.
I've got it right here.
So we'll get that posted and let you know.
So run order for Saturday is foot brake, pro, 6.0, Shadyside Outlaws, Limited Street, Nitrous Street, and Bottle versus Boost.
So Bottle versus Boost will probably end up staying in the pro tree lane.
Well, they don't have to weigh, so they could just come down to like 1 or 2.
They don't have to weigh. They don't have to weigh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just the 3 before. Shadyside Outlaws, Limited Street, and Nitrous Street are weighing.
So Nitrous Street will stay in the pro tree lane. Okay. Shadyside Outlaws and Limited Street will move into the lanes, the main lanes.
Okay. And like I said, guys, if there's anybody that needs
minor details, but
yeah, anybody that needs that schedule or anything, we've got it posted on the Shadyside page. I'm sharing it on my own page. I'm tagging as many people as I can in it. You know, I've always got John and Seth tagged in it. So we have everything shared right there. Like I said, it's got to the time. Friday, like I said, with the weather, there might be a little bit of an adjustment to everything, but hopefully, like Seth said, rolling with the first time run for bracket guys around 6:30. So
sounds good, fellas.
Awesome, man. Well, like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Start getting set up. Might go live tomorrow night for Shadyside Outlaws. Well, no, it's not Outlaw night, but just for a testing 2 night to do a test of everything.
Yep. Let's do it.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome, guys. Well, I will see y'all tomorrow.
Thanks, fellas. Have a good night.
Peace out, guys.
Y'all take it easy. All right, guys. Back to just me. So, sorry about the little technical difficulties. I don't know kind of what happened. I knew the first one was kind of like a rolling power issue, but the second one, it just seemed like something when I was adding the comments and everything, it kind of froze it up. So, just something I'll have to get in here. I know we put a new update today on the YOLO box. It was kind of a mandatory update. So, it's supposed to up the quality. I think normally been doing 30 FPS. Now it's going to be 60 FPS. So, I'm going to go through and let's see what kind of happened. Maybe I can get some information data from YOLO Box's website on that. But hopefully, like I said, something simple. Just get it figured out and roll with it. But like I said, Carolina Nitrous Nationals this weekend, man. It's going to be a huge race. It's going to be a great time. I mean, I don't know anywhere else I'd want to be. I mean, this race has been going forever. Like I said, I think this is the 7th year at Shadyside. I've been going to it since I was at Mooresville. And, you know, that was back in the day. And just watching the growth of the event and it continually getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, it's great. Like I said, I'll pull the flyer up. We'll go over it one more time. Like I said, we got bottle versus boost this weekend. That's your 5-inch bore space nitrous guys against small block boost. And the small block boost is unlimited on turbo size and everything for that. So it kind of evens out that playing field with the nitrous guys. Nitrous Street, that's your, I'm not going to say limited budget guys, anything like that, but that's your working man's class. Like I said, the rules are really tight knit for big block and small block nitrous. Very competitive racing, man. I can't say much more. It's just a great class to watch. Shadyside Outlaws this weekend. You know, that's always something big at Shadyside. There's a big following for that. And it's not just limited to the list guys this weekend. It's just whoever fits the rule set. Just show up, pass the rule set, and draw a chip and get ready to race. And, you know, like I said, my heart right there, man. 235 is now limited street because they have merged limited 235 and DXP street. That class is awesome. And the best part about it, the clocks are on. So you get to see what these guys are running. That makes it even better for me because I'm a sucker for watching them clocks turn on. It was awesome back in the day in the Outlaw 275 stuff, seeing the clocks and everything going. So that's great to see. And like I said, the tire is that wide. It's a 235. And they're going 480s, 490s on it. And these are limited combinations. I mean, it's nothing crazy. 76 millimeter turbos, P1SC blower. The nitrous guys, I think they're coming in, like I said, they're able to run the 275, but it's the SS tire. So it's the street tire. It's not the R or the Pro. So it's got a lot more grooves in it. You know, it gives it a challenge. And then you see a lot of these guys on the 255. I mean, it's going to be a great class to watch. I know we had 16 last year show up for it, and it was a tight-knit field, man. I think the top 5 or 6 was within a tenth of each other. So 235 racing and 275 racing, all this racing, man, it's good. It's great to see the progression. It's great to see it growing at Shadyside. I'm proud to see it growing. Proud to be a part of this event. I've been a part of the Nitrous National since it moved to Shadyside. Like I said, going our 7th year, and glad to have Spooled Media a part of it. John has been awesome to me over the years. He's been help with tech when I was at Farmington, Mooresville, now Shadyside. And these guys have always taken care of me when I filmed in South Georgia and all that. So it's great to be able to give back, help those guys out too. So some great radial racing this weekend at Shadyside. If you're not there, man, no excuses. It's going to be one of the best radial races of the year. Kick off the season. And like I said, we get to actually run it on the date it's supposed to be on. This race has been postponed like 3-4 times from the normal date and had to move it. So we're actually kicking the season off how it's supposed to be. And like I said, the bracket guys, they're going to be in attendance too. Awesome group to watch. You know, these are some of the most competitive bracket racing I've seen. I come from a family of bracket racers, so I'm glad to see the bracket racing really getting a spot, you know, getting the spotlight at Shadyside. I see more Mel Roth than the PSCA, well, IHRA. I know Mel from PSCA, but they're going to have the IHRA swag trailer there, so make sure to stop by, talk to those guys, let them know how much you appreciate IHRA being a part of Shadyside. You know, it's going to be a great year. So, let's see. And then I'm going to look at our schedule for after this weekend. Like I said, big props to Motion Raceworks coming on board for our race next weekend. This is the Spooled Media's first no prep of the year. Motion Raceworks, Carolina Cash Days, the warm-up, $5,000 to win, free entry small tire, plus $1,500 to runner-up, $250 to the semis, not the quarters. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then we also have the side bet. So it doesn't affect the actual race. It's free entry. That pod is guaranteed in the free entry race. But the side bet, it's going to be, if you want to throw another 200 in, there you go. It puts you into the side bet, and who all gets into the side bet, that money will be stacked, and whoever's the last man standing is going to take it home. So there's a good chance you could walk away with a lot of money from Carolina Cash Days. Plus, for our street racer and daily street indexes, we got 500 on top from each class. Big props from Motion Raceworks for throwing that in for those guys. Because those are those guys. I mean, these are your daily guys that are beating up on their cars constantly. They got fast street cars. A 630 index and a 750 index ain't no slouch. And these are cars you see traveling every day, and they're running motion parts. I mean, our small tire guys run motion parts. Thanks again. Motion Raceworks making this happen for you grassroots guys. They're giving back, so make sure you support them. And like I said, small tire, $5,000 to win. Free entry. There's really no restrictions to this class. Steel roof and quarters, 28-10-5 non-W, no wheelie bars. And I don't want to hear any all-wheel drive guys say that they've been excluded, because they are legal for every single class. So if you got an all-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive and you want to race, this is the place to be next weekend at Shadyside. Back-to-back crazy weekends at Shadyside of Heads Up Racing. After that, boom, Dig or Die, Flashlight Fiesta 3. Get to go hang out with our buddies Eric, Zanford, and Kensett. I just got finished talking with NC Speed Lab and At the Beach RV and Trailer Sales. They came on to help Spooled Media along with Rocket Track Clue. So if you guys are interested in sponsoring, being a part of our media coverage for that weekend, let me know. We'll get you on board. It's going to be a huge weekend, a lot of racing, and you can go back and look at the facts, man. We've got the biggest coverage of this event, and I'm actually working on getting everything set up so we can be live at the event. I'm not saying we're going to be, but I'm working on getting it set up. So regular coverage of regular video coverage, photo coverage, and working on getting live coverage for this event. If you want to be a part of that, one price gets you on every single part of that. And I'm telling you, dude, small tire, true street, they got all kinds of classes lined up for this one. I know Big Tire's back. They've got that limited nitrous class. It's one of the first times I've seen a limited nitrous class on the backside of a track. So Dig or Die's got a great class selection. And, dude, if you've never been to a Dig or Die, it's wild. You got to make it. The week after that, we are Kentucky bound. Back to Decker Boys, the craziest no prep on the front side I've seen. If you have not been to Decker Boys, make plans to be at Cash Days of Kentucky. This race is insane. And they have went through, took the hay bales out. It's got, I think they said, poured walls all the way down now. I mean, the whole track's nice as can be. It's got poured walls through the whole 8th mile. Surface is nice. This is the kickoff for the Kentucky season. I know, the Kentucky season at Decker Boys. I know my buddies Charlie and all them, they've got their race this weekend in Ohio Valley. So if you're out that way, go support them this weekend. But Cash Days of Kentucky, small tire class, Gangster 26s, True Street, hard tire, and Birdman's BMF bikes. If you've never seen bikes on No Prep, that's some crazy stuff. Knowing how slick and tricky that surface is, and they're pulling wheelies at half track and stuff, dude, it is crazy. And, Happy and them, they always put on a great show. Always giving back to the racers. There's money on top of every single one of those classes. And plus, they give some. We'll be there doing event coverage for that event. Can't wait to get back down there. We got a full schedule this year. It's crazy, man. Next race, which I need to get the flyer, because the Thursday night before this, we're going to be at Big Dog at Piedmont. And I love my pro mods, man. I got to catch that. It's the longest running pro mod event in the Carolinas. Probably one of the longest standing pro mod events there is. And we'll be coming back to West Virginia that night after we finish that to get that edited. And then we're bound for Turbo John's Backwards Brawl 2 in Knoxville. From what I've seen, they're trying to throw together a frontside race on Friday. And then Saturday, they're going to do their normal back of the track races. Hopefully I've got everything worked out. If I do, Might even try to go live down there for that. For sure on the video coverage and the photo coverage, I'm going to try to see if we get everything worked out, get the live coverage for down there. Sometimes it's kind of crazy being by myself doing all this, but I've got some cool help. I know TJ will be along for Dig or Die. Maybe I can get him on a couple more events. But like I said, we're going to Knoxville again. Had a great time there with Wes and Turbo John in January. Can't wait to get back. It's a great backside race. Tricky backside, honestly. And looks are deceiving. First time I went down there, I was like, man, this is going to be fast. And then you actually see the cars go down, and wow. So, great race to be at. Then the week after that, full tilt, no prep, back at Wilkesboro. 100% going live for that event. Friday night, they have the Dyno Day at Carolina Performance. We're going to split our time up because we're going to be at the Dyno Day, and then they have RC no prep racing on Friday night at the track. But full event on Saturday, we're there to cover it. 200% payback. For those that don't understand that, if the class buy-ins are $5,000, then the track's also throwing $5,000. So $10,000 total if it gets to that. 200% buy-in. Big props to those guys for doing that. Not a lot of people are giving back, so they're giving back. Go support them. Like I said, we'll have video coverage, photo coverage, and I will be live at Wilkesboro every time I'm there. Big props to Paul and everybody at Wilkesboro for allowing me to be live and giving me their internet access so I can do it. Thank you guys. It's greatly appreciated. I hope we can help build y'all up even more with the spooled media coverage. All right, let's see. Week after that, we are going back to Kentucky. Slugfest no prep, front side and top end racing. So all the classes I believe are going to be on both ends of the track, which is awesome. The big thing with this race is it's East versus West. West Virginia Ryan Mitchell's the head of the East, and our buddy Happy is the head of the West. So I'm curious to see how all this is going to work. I mean, I think it's going to be a great race to be at. Can't wait. Had a great time when I went to Slugfest last year, man. The Sipple family that owns the track, the hospitality of them is great. Can't wait to get back down there and support that track. Great facility, too. I mean, probably one of my favorite facilities I've been to. It's right there. It's Clay City, Kentucky. I mean, right off the highway. It's an easy drive, especially for me, just literally 77, 64, and then just off to the side on I think it's Mountain Parkway. Dude, a lot of awesome places around there. I mean, great race, well ran, and you know if Happy and all them there, it's going to be a party. So I can't wait to get back down to Kentucky for that. And then to end April, we're headed to Pennsylvania. We're going to do coverage of Battle of South Mountain No Prep 2. Our buddy Ken Hensel is putting that on. You know, Drag or Die, they'll be down at my race next weekend, so make sure to support those guys as much as you can at Shadyside. We're going to help them with their race in Pennsylvania. Going to have to deliver some coverage. I might even try to sneak in some live on that. We'll see kind of how it goes. I've never been there. I don't know how the cell phone reception is. And still trying to figure out what's going to be the best hot spot, because I don't want just something that's good for one track. I want to see what's going to be best for all the tracks. So my goal is to get on that next week so we can work on that, because I really appreciate everything like everybody's pushing with our live stuff. It's really taken off. So... And, I see our buddy G2K Racing is in here. I get to see him next weekend up at Shadyside. But like I said, we're going to have some great stuff this year. Really going to push to get the live race coverage going. I've got the stuff for it, so why not? I mean, I want to make it big for you guys, and I'm going to push this race a little bit. We're going to be dropping the classes here soon. Yes, I get to work with Limpy. You know, me and him's teaming up on this race with the great crew at Twin River Raceway in July. The first ever Cash Days of Virginia. The legitimate Cash Days of Virginia. It's going to be something really big, guys. If you haven't got it marked on your calendars yet, get it marked. Thing's going to be huge, and I think it's going to be one of the best races there is. I mean, I think we're going to pack that place out and probably double, triple the population of Coburn, Virginia for a couple of days. But like I said, next week... we're going to be getting ready. We're going to do a preview for Motion Raceworks Carolina Cash Days. Kind of hard to do a preview when it's your own race. So I'm going to have Ken Hensel from Drag or Die on here, and our buddy Happy from Support Your Local Street Racer. And we're going to be talking about no prep racing and a few other things. You know, Ken has been to my race. This will be Happy's first trip to North Carolina for my race. So they're going to be on here talking about what they're bringing to the race, their brands, I'm going to give them some spotlight to shine too. I want to build this whole community up as much as I can. So, like I said, next week our preview show is going to be on Motion Raceworks Carolina Cash Days. Now, the week after, Dig or Die week, we will not be live on Wednesday night. I've got a doctor's appointment that day, a few hours away from the house. And then I got to come home and start busting rear to get ready for going to Dig or Die. So I might bring something special that Thursday night. I haven't really made my mind up yet what we're going to do with that. It might be live with the media from the hotel. So we'll get that figured out. But like I said, I'm going to try to do this every week, kind of give more of an outlet for our tracks and the places we're going to really push the races and the racers to come on and talk. We do a great job with that anyways on KOTV Motorsports, Spoiled Media, Turbo Tuesday. Houston, man, that's the interview guy. He's the professional. I'm the wing it guy. So we'll be live again Tuesday for that this week. I don't know who our guest is going to be yet, but next Tuesday at 7 p.m. we'll be live with that. And then, once again, next Wednesday, like I said, we'll be live again here live with the Media Go. Hopefully with less technical difficulties next week. Man, they've kicked my rear this week. So, appreciate everybody. All right, Eric. I'll be there, man. It's going to be a great event this weekend. I've got to finish packing and getting ready. I got to get all this live gear torn back down and ready to go. Let's see. Buck, I got to check the dates on that because my calendar's crazy, man. Everything got so filled up this weekend. I mean, not this weekend, but this year. It's crazy. It blows my mind how many opportunities you've got to go to races this year. There's 5 to 6 good races every weekend. Tori Brown, Mr. Khakis, our Boston buddy. Can't wait, man. It's going to be a great weekend. So, like I said, guys, I'm ready to push these races, man, help y'all out with it. Where I'm going, that's where we're going to be previewing every week. Like I said, it's my goal to make racing grow in this area bigger than what it is. I mean, it's pretty big as is, but if we can make it just go that much higher by putting on a little talk show like this, why not? I mean, let's keep it growing. And once again, guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, if you can, support Bubba Phillips and them. They've got a GoFundMe set up in a bad wreck last night on his motorcycle, so he's got a long road to recovery to come. If you can donate to that GoFundMe, definitely get on there and donate for those guys. So, yeah, Dinkle. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, Dinkle, don't come down talking about that UNC stuff. I can't be listening to that. It's Kentucky Wildcats all the way. David, man, y'all going to have an awesome event. I seen that. Dude, the surface looks crazy. I love the new Rocking Cam surface. But I am a part of the Nitrous Nationals, so I do have to be there this weekend. I'll try to catch up with one of y'all's races as soon as I can. But, oh gosh, I'm not looking forward to the Death Pond. Y'all can probably already hear I'm already suffering. So, oh God. Wesley Robinson, ban this guy. I can't deal with this. But all right, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. Oh, wait a minute. We can't leave without this. Let me pull this up for you guys. We cannot leave. I don't know if Chris Lane's watching, but... Sorry, Chris. It never gets old. But appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll get all that worked out. And like I said, Friday night, we're going to go live here on Spoiled Media. Probably around 6:30. It'll be picture-in-picture this week, just like it was at Wilkesboro. Guys, I've got to do the coverage and the pictures, so I'm going to have it set up in the tower. Seth is going to be watching it over for me. And it sounds like we're some awesome announcers this weekend, too, so it'll be worth listening to and keeping the volume up. So, like I said, Friday we'll go live around 6:30ish, 6:30. Saturday I'll be live around 11. Picture-in-picture. Like I said, you'll have the start line angle and you'll have the top end angle. So you'll be able to watch the race, check it out if you can't make it. But if you can make it, there's nothing like being there. Live does not do it any justice. If you don't like the smell of methanol burning your eyes, I don't know what's wrong with you. Excuse me, guys. But everybody, have a good night. And I'll see y'all next Tuesday for Turbo Tuesday, and then next Wednesday with Happy and Ken for Live with the Media Goat. See, y'all have a good weekend.